Mattel's done it. They've actually completed a series. I know, I can't believe it either. They have released every single Demolition Derby racer from Cars 3, which is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if we think about it, Cars 3 only came out 2 3/4 years ago, and they already released all the racers. Now, you can make the argument that this announcer guy here has not received a release yet, but I don't count him because he's not a racer, and hopefully we'll still get him in the future though. But Faregame is the last piece to the puzzle, and after being canceled in late 2017 in a 3-pack, Mattel has finally given him some more attention, and now they're releasing him as a 155 scale diecast, because they did release him as a mini racer, and they even released him as whatever this is, a Crazy 8 Crasher, which was super rare anyways. So, interesting story for Faregame, and we'll talk more about his unique journey throughout the Cars universe in a couple moments here. But just to give some background on Faregame, he came out in 2020 Singles Case D, which I unboxed a little over a month ago. So I'll link that in the description if you missed it or just want to check it out again, and the card suggestion pop up in the top right hand corner. He then was reissued in Case E, which I also unboxed, and both of these cases are being found across the United States at Target and Walmart stores. I've seen a lot of people finding them. So, you know, during the quarantine, people were saying, I'm just getting bread, I'm just getting groceries. But then they're like, hey, look all the cars I found, bro. And it's like, whoa, I thought you were getting bread, man. But I guess I understand, you know, just be safe if you go to the store, just be aware, be safe. And if you find some cars, you know, maybe grab a loaf of bread and make it worth it. I don't know, but that's just my 2 cents. I have not gone to the stores at all recently, so I haven't found the case, but it's okay because I got a whole bunch of them out of the cases I unboxed. But yeah, he's in the Thunder Hollow series, which is a pretty sweet series, although the only other car I could perhaps think of them releasing now in the series is that announcer. I love the artwork for Faregame, looks fantastic. On the back here, you can see a picture of Patty, Bill, Cigalert, and Miss Fritter, who is absolutely destroying them. Feel bad for those three, and you have a little snippet of McQueen there. Or Chester Whipplefilter, my bad. It's Crazy 8 night at Thunder Hollow Speedway. That's the shortest description ever. Es la noche de las carreras de la pista and ocho en la pista de carreras Thunder Hollow. Spanish makes it so long. Jambalaya Chimichanga, Liability, and APB are other releases in this series, and they've all been released before. So I'll be right back with Faregame opened up, and we will compare him to the Chinese prototype version here that I got a couple months ago, and I did review him as well, so I will put that link as well in the description and card suggestion if you'd like to see that in a little bit more depth, but we will compare them here in this video. So here is our little quartet of Faregames. We have the canceled Chinese version here on the left, the prototype one, the mini racer in the middle, the brand new Thailand release on the right, and the Crazy 8 Crasher there in the back. So we're just going to start with that one because I do want to show you guys, you know, the evolution of Faregame. Then we'll talk about his appearance and then get into the review and comparison. So yeah, this was released in late 2017. They did make quite a few Crazy 8 Crashers. It was a fairly decently big series, but the last two that were released, which were Broadside and a Faregame. So here is Broadside. Now Broadside is huge. I don't know why they made him so big, but yeah, he actually looks pretty cool. And yeah, they were pretty rare, but they aren't that expensive or anything nowadays, I don't believe, because they were easily available on Amazon. And where else? I got them, I think on Amazon, yeah, or somewhere. I think maybe TJ Maxx, places like that. But yeah, the wheels don't move on these ones. They just have that kind of wind up thing. But it still was nice to get at least some version of Faregame. And this filled the void for quite a while. Patty was another rare one in the series. They also had deluxes in the series like Arvy and Mr. Drippy. So yeah, maybe I'll do a video on these in the future. I actually did do a video on the playset for that, so I'll link that in the description below as well if you'd like to check it out. So then they released this mini racer version here in just a regular blind pack, and then I believe they've re-released him in some multi-packs since then. Again, a nice little fulfillment for Faregame. Our satisfaction for Faregame was partially filled, but still though just left us questioning why Mattel hasn't released a full-size version of him despite doing all these other versions of him. But then moving on to this canceled version here that was supposed to be included in a late 2017 3-pack with Chester Whipplefilter, Lightning McQueen, and Dr. Damage. There were a ton of 3-packs during this time. They had Jocko Flacco Mac, APB, and I believe Lightning McQueen. They had Tractor, Mater, and McQueen. They had so many 3-packs during this time, but most of them were only available at Meijer and other weird stores like Kohl's and stuff like that. Targets and Walmart stores, the main retailers, they haven't carried 3-packs in years. Like, it's been like a decade. 3-packs just aren't popular for some reason, so they end up at those kind of oddball type stores. So likely that's why that one got canceled. And just, by the luck of it, it was the only one left to be released. So very sad about that. And this is, one of the ones that got leaked out. And I'm very fortunate to have it. There are not many in existence. You can see here it is a coded engineering prototype 129. And on the base here, made in China, so you can see that. It has all the correct base codes for a typical release. And yeah, I did review him, so I will leave that link in the description for you to check out. He's pretty beat up in some places, but that's just how most prototypes are. So comparing him just right off the bat here with, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. We should show Faregame's appearance in Cars 3. So there he is in Cars 3. And he actually does speak, I believe. He has one little line referring to him being a taxi, like something about like fares or whatever. I don't remember exactly. But the important thing about him is that he then reappeared in Miss Fritter's Racing School shorts. And that was really cool to see. Just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that short because I feel like they could have done better with what they had available to them. But nonetheless, it still is a nice short that expands off the Demolition Derby a little bit and gives some of the other racers a chance to shine. So it was nice to see him in that. And again, that just led me and other collectors to think like, why is Disney and Pixar putting so much effort in the Faregame and Mattel's like, nah, I'm gonna head out, I feel like you can make so many memes with Faregame. Like that one where the guy's walking with his girlfriend down the street and then sees like another girl that he perceives to be more attractive and then neglects his girlfriend. I feel like the girlfriend is totally Faregame, the guy is Mattel, and the new girl is like, I don't know. Let's think of like the most odd release that they've done lately. Like Hot Rod Steve Herschel that they intend to make, or Silver Tim Treadless or something like that. Just a weird release. I don't know. Or like the Muddy Rusty's McQueen from the Demolition Derby. Something like that. I just feel like you can make a meme about that and I would definitely laugh. But anyways, Mattel still made him, so I guess we shouldn't be complaining too much. And yeah, like I was saying, right off the bat, you can see their expressions are entirely different. As per usual, Thailand gives quite the heavy eyeliner to their releases. You can see the thick eyeline there. And it is kind of in the same shape, but the eyes are a little more spread apart, and the eyeliner just makes him look a little stranger. He still has the exhaust pipes on his hood there that, of course, help with filtering the steam and everything that he generates from overworking his engine, so it just provides more air flow. He's got some sort of bars barricading his grill there for protection, probably to hold him together because he's taking so many hits. Now on the Chinese version here, the bumper is part of the body, so it's metal, but with the Thailand version here, it's actually a plastic add-on that's part of the base, so it's plastic. Which actually, looks fine to me. I'm not complaining. I like how his little buck teeth are shining there a little bit more than they did on the Thailand version. Both do have matte finishes, of course, as all the Thailand or all the Demolition Derby racers have nowadays. On the side here, you can see they have the same decals, but they are a little bit different. The Thailand ones are a little bit more vibrant, and the yellow is, in general, I'd say. Versus Chinese's more faded out colors, like the black is definitely bolder and the white in the checkered board design right there. That emphasizes, his taxi gimmick. The tires look cool, Before they were really, really white. Like if you see here, they're pretty much entirely white with those black lines through it. But here, they look a little bit more realistic to me, as if they were hand or quote-unquote tire painted, so they're not perfect. Crash only, 42. I love it. He's got a major dent right there that's kind of pushed him up. That's why you have this major, discrepancy in height from the tire to the fender there, because he's taken so many hits. And we don't really see that on too many Demolition Derby cars, so it's nice to see that new feature and how he's kind of hoisted up in the back. On the roof there, of course, the checkered board finish and the light bar. That's blank on the front and blank on the back, although for some reason on the mini version it says taxi on the back. So just imagine that. I don't know which one's accurate to the movie, but it would be funny if the mini racer is more accurate than the full-fledged 155 scale diecast. So there is the checkerboard on the Chinese prototype. Again, like I said, it just looks bolder on the new version, the Thailand one. 42 there. Of course, you have some more bars holding the window together. Crash only. Of course, a play on the words cash only. If you're a taxi cab driver, cash is more preferable than credit cards, because you don't have to report it to the government, and therefore you don't have to pay taxes. Generally speaking, cashes are off the book. So there's the base for the Chinese version. Here is the base for the Thailand version. So obviously now it says made in Thailand, and it has a date stamp of M46A, which means he was made in the 46th week of 2017. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Disney Docket 2019. I'm living in the past. M stands for 19, and then A is for the factory. Pretty much they only produce it that A factory. I've never seen a B or a C in there. And so you can see that many of the similar writings are on this base, minus the date stamp. And usually if a car lacks a date stamp, it means it's a prototype. But not always, but it's definitely an indicator. I'm sorry if you guys can hear rain in the background, because it is raining cats and dogs outside right now. It's kind of ridiculous, but, it's good. It's good to, it's spring, right? It's supposed to rain. Got some black stripes here on the back. Lots of dents, of course. This part feels a little bit more indented than right there. This is a little flatter than that, but very interesting how they did this. Again, that looks more dented than that. Let me know in the comments below, do you prefer the Thailand or Chinese version here? Because they're both pretty much, completed. Well, as I mean that for the China version more so. Obviously, this one's not a prototype. It's fully complete, but this one is complete except for, having that code on the back there. But yeah, I definitely prefer the Thailand version because I like the more vibrant colors. Simple as that for me. And he's also taller. Look at that. He's way bigger. It's kind of interesting. Lots of unique differences between these two. And it's always fun to compare, a canceled release versus, when it gets uncanceled. We'll be doing that with Josh Coolant in the future. And you could do that with Nicky B as well, but I don't have the prototype of him. Dan Skarkenberg, Kit Revster, Wilmer Flats are all examples of cars that were canceled and then released many years later. At least 3 years. Like Wilmer Flats, how many years was it? No, it was only like one. Well, she was released as a lenticular, canceled as a regular, then released as a regular 7 years later. Kit Revster was only 3. Dan Skarkenberg, 6. Faregame, about 2.5. Who else? Nicky B was only about Nicky B was 3 as well. And who are we just talking about? Josh Cohen was 3. So yeah, at least 3 years between cancellation and uncancellation. But before we head out, I do want to compare Faregame to a couple of his Demolition Derby competitors. So here's APB. Now these are all Chinese releases because I don't have any of them loose from Thailand. And all these are generally the same model, being coupes, but because they're dented and they have different gimmicks, like she's got a police gimmick, whereas Faregame's got the taxi gimmick, or theme, whatever you want to call it. It's like superheroes nowadays. Everybody's got a gimmick. Tell me the reference. Tell me where that comes from, guys. That's a little trivia for the day. Everybody's got a gimmick now. That's a quote from a movie. Here's T-Bone, who's one of my favorite Demolition Derby racers. Poor guy. It's pretty rare, I'm sure, nowadays, because he was only released in a Walmart exclusive 5-pack. We got Cigalert, who also hasn't received a release in quite some time. Coming up on 3 years for Sig. So how are you guys doing today on this lovely Tuesday afternoon? Or whenever you're watching this. I don't expect you guys to watch it immediately. Here's Airborne, probably the most or least popular Demolition Derby racer, just, thinking generally. If you're a big fan of Airborne, I don't mean to exclude you, but most people do not really think about him much. But he should be getting a release soon without these rubber tires that he was released with initially. Yeah, I've been doing pretty well, managing quarantine. Here's Taco. Just enjoying doing videos and keeping busy with schoolwork, so I haven't really found myself too bored. Because, if I'm not making a video, I'm working on schoolwork because I have a ton of it. And, if I finish my schoolwork, I will find myself up here in my studio recording a video. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, I'm recording this on Saturday. I was thinking that I would be live streaming tomorrow, which I am, but you guys are seeing this later. So how did the live stream go? I hope it goes well. I have to set up after this. Here's Jambalaya Chimichanga, who was also just recently released. Another one of my favorites because of her color. Here's High Impact, another kind of rare Demolition Derby racer. Released in a 2-pack, and then as a single, but her single release is rarer than race damage moves. I'm just kidding. It's pretty rare though. It would be kind of rare though. And here is Tailgate. Pretty nice as well. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll bring in a little bit of the crowd here. Let me know again which version of Faregame is your favorite, Thailand or China. I'm sure a lot of people will be torn on this one because people hate Thailand, but the China version here doesn't look so hot, in my opinion, at least, just because of the colors being so faded. But yeah, I will see you guys on Thursday for another review. Pretty sure it's going to be of some canceled cars, so that'll be exciting. I'll see you guys then. Bye now. Actually, no, it's Silver Miguel Camino. I misspoke. Still very exciting, though, because I have a little surprise for you guys in that video. See you then. Bye now.